discuss the day that the president is having. In addition to the Mitch McConnell news, he's also meeting with his cabinet, which includes the Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who had a conversation yesterday with Jake Tapper. Jake pressed the Secretary of State on whether or not he in fact called the president a moron. Listen.
I'm not going to deal with that kind of petty stuff. I mean, this is a town that seems to relish gossip, rumor, innuendo, and they feed on it.
You have a cattle ranch. You don't want to say anything about the senator suggesting you've been gelded before the world, and that's not anything that bothers you?
I checked. I'm fully intact.
So, Betsy, first of all, kudos to the Secretary for comic timing, because that was fantastic, his response to Jake right there. But on the question of did he or did he not call the president a moron, a question that he continues to dodge, is there any right answer there, and is there an answer that will satisfy the president?
The answer the president clearly wants to hear is he wants to hear Tillerson say that he never called him a moron. And it's just telling that the Secretary of State resolutely, now on more than one occasion, has refused himself in his own voice to disavow that report. We know President Trump hates getting criticisms based on his intellect or his moral character or anything personal. This report that Tillerson actually used that word to refer to the president is also something that clearly troubles him. Tillerson could make his own life a lot easier if he said, I never said that and it's fake news. But Tillerson isn't saying that. And the result to that, of course, is that it's only going to encourage more friction between the Secretary of State and the president.
I will say, Alice, go ahead, Alice.
No, I just think, first of all, there's probably no question whether or not he said that, but to be quite honest, anyone would have to be a moron to acknowledge that they called the president a moron. And I think Tillerson is doing the right thing by saying, let's talk about more important issues that really affect people across this country. People do not care what he said behind closed doors about the president. And I think he was also right when he spoke to Jake yesterday when he said, look, we have an unconventional president. We all knew that when he was elected. He uses unconventional tactics to get what he wants to get done here in Washington, and Tillerson understands that. And the two of them both agree that the number one priority with regard to our national security deals with North Korea, certainly with the Iran deal, and they're working on these key issues that are really important and not a he said, she said behind closed doors.
Brian, let me get your take lastly on tax reform or tax cuts. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being definitely happening, 0 being not happening at all. How likely do you think some kind of tax reform or tax cut is before Christmas?
Very likely.
Was that like a 6, a 7?
Very likely.
Very likely. All right, Brian McGuire, Alice Stewart, Betsy Woodruff, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Sure thing.
All right, come